I will use in the case my Wi-Fi directly. So, welcome. It's a pleasure to me to be here with you, ladies. As I was telling you previously, we are going to have a review about comparatives and superlative adjectives. Do you remember what is a comparative adjective? Do you remember?
When we compare two things,
Yes, when we compare two things. So comparative adjectives help us to compare two different things. It says, help me, Angie, please. Read the concept.
comparative adjectives are words used to compare the difference between two things.
Okay, good. Yes, we used it for comparing two things. Gosh, give me a sec. All right, so for example, here we have smaller and bigger. All right, and what is the word that we have to make the emphasis between two of them? The mouse is smaller. Mm-hmm. Yes, than
Elephant.
the elephant. Yes, the elephant is bigger
Than the mouse.
Okay, good job. Yes, don't forget that in comparative we use the word than to make the emphasis that we are comparing two things. Okay, so Jamilet, help me please with this.
To make a comparative word, you must change the adjective to the comparative form.
Okay, good job. So do we say must or must?
Must.
Good job. Must change the adjective. So here we have the adjective and we add ER. So, and we have some rules. Okay, young lady, help me with this rule, please.
With regular one-syllable adjectives, we add ER to make the comparative form.
Okay, with regular one syllable. So, for example, here, fast, faster, we just add ER. Okay, the second one, Jamila, please.
With regular one and two syllable adjectives that end in Y, we remove the Y and add IER to make the comparative form.
Okay, thank you so much. Remember, we have to take out the Y and we have to replace it with an IER. All right, next one, Angie, please.
With adjectives that end as a single vowel followed by a single consonant, the consonant is doubled and ER is added.
Okay, good job. So just a question, Angie. So when we have an adjective or verb that finish with E, so what is the pronunciation of this? We say ed or ed?
ED, I think.
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, so the correct pronunciation is?
Added.
Added, good job. And what about this one? Do you remember the voiced and the voiceless? So when there is a vibration, we pronounce like a D, da, da, da. And
No.
where is an voiceless, like a S, we pronounce the ed like a t. So in this case, W, it's a voiced. So for that reason, it sounds like a D. So we need to say followed, followed. All right? Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so we have the example here. Consonant, vowel, and consonant. So the rule says that we have to double the consonant and add ER. All right, so what about this one? Let me see, Jamilet.
With two syllable adjectives that don't end in Y and all three syllable adjectives, we add more before the adjective.
Okay, how do we pronounce this? Say it again.
Three?
3 or 3?
Three.
Again?
3.
A good job. Yes, 3.
3 is árbol, ¿verdad?
Yes, yes. 3, it's the one that we have in our gardens, when there are some leaves, flowers, fruits, all of that. Okay, good job. For example, here we have beautiful. It's a longest one. So we need just to add more beautiful because we are not able just to add ER. All right. Good job, ladies. And now we are going to review superlatives. Okay. It says that what are superlative adjectives? It says that superlative adjectives are words used to compare the difference between 3 or more things. So we have here fast, faster, and fastest. What does it mean? So it means that the airplane is faster than the car, but the rocket is the fastest one. Remember that before the superlative adjective, we need to write the THE, like here. Okay, this, the fastest. Okay, so, and in this case, we use than in comparative. Okay, so do you have a question at this point? Questions? Doubts? No? No questions?
No questions.
Okay, good. All right, let's move on. So, and this is like this kind of the same. So we just change the suffix about, this is a suffix. That's the only thing that changed. Okay. All right, so lady, help me to read it, please.
To make a superlative, how do you pronounce this word?
Superlative.
Superlative. Okay. To
Mhm.
make a superlative word, you must change the adjective to the superlative form.
Okay, good job. Thank you. So we have the base, the adjective here. This is the comparative, smaller, and the superlative is smallest. Okay. So, but remember that we use the smallest. In this case, we use the smallest. Okay. And we have some rules too. And Angie, help me with this, please.
With regular one-syllable adjectives, we add est to make the superlative form.
Thank you so much. In comparative form, don't forget we add just ER. With superlative, we add est. All right, and Jamila, this one, please.
With regular 1 and 2 syllable adjectives that end in Y, we remove the Y and add IEST to make the superlative form.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, we take off this. In comparative, we add IER. And in superlative, we add IEST. And we say the happiest. Okay, for example, if you want to say that this was the happiest day during the week, maybe the happiest one. The day that you feel that everything was awesome and you are feeling the happiness in your life. Okay, so continue, lady, please.
With adjectives that end with a single vowels followed by a single consonant. The consonant is double and est is added.
Okay, good job. In this case, it's like a doubled.
Double.
Mhm. Good job. Okay, again, we have the base here. And we need to double the G because that's the last consonant. And we have to add ER in comparative. But in superlative, we double the last consonant, EST. And we have the biggest. The biggest. All right. And this, Jamila, please.
With 2 syllable adjectives that don't end in Y and all 3 syllable adjectives, we add the most before the adjective.
Thank you so much. In this case, we have the most beautiful. And in comparative, we just have more beautiful. We don't say the more beautiful. No, no, no. We have, for example, um, the rose, maybe the rose is more beautiful than the sunflower. Maybe, just an example. So we don't need to say the more beautiful. We say just more beautiful. But here, the rose is the most beautiful flower. Okay. So, and remember that we have irregular ones that they change completely. So, but those adjectives, we need to memorize them because they don't follow any rule. For example, we have good, better, best. For that reason, we say best friend. That means that the friend is the best one. We have different friends, but we have just one best friend. Okay, so we have bad, worse, and worst. Remember to make this sound, the T sound at the end. So worst. Imagine that you had a bad day, but this is the opposite of best. So worst, like you hate the day. So it was the worst day. You had just bad news, bad things, and so on. Okay, so in the cases that they don't follow any rule, so you must memorize them. All right, so we are going to practice. I know that previously we covered this topic, but maybe we didn't have time to practice because I remember that this topic was managed kind of the last week and most of you were not able to be in the class. So for that reason, we are going to practice today. Okay, so I have different activities for this night. Next week, we are going to finish the unit number 1. We already covered, if you check the virtual classroom, we already covered in the keys all the topics today. So give me a second. I will take a look of the unit number 1. Okay, so we cover gadgets and adjectives to describe gadgets. Do you remember what a gadget is? What is a gadget? Give me an example.
Computer,
Computer, what else?
cell phone,
Cell phone,
Cell phone, yes. The USB flash too. And the smartwatch, it's a gadget. Okay, we covered that. Also, we covered vocabulary. So we will talk about some movies vocabulary next week. So comparative and superlative adjectives, we are talking about that. And we are talking about making comparison. We are talking about that today. So basically, the topics that you need for doing the activities or at least starting doing the activities are already covered. Next week, because of objective says, participant will be able to describe places, gadgets, and movies they like. We already covered gadgets, but we are missing to talk about movies and places. So, you will be able to describe preferences and you will be able to compare gadgets, movies, or places. I'm thinking about that having an activity next week to talk about touristic places. So thinking one touristic place, I will tell you on Monday when we are going to have an oral presentation. Maybe it will be on Thursday, maybe, or Wednesday. I will tell you. So for example, Jamila, you can tell us about Guatemala, touristic place, and we are going to tell you different places that we have in El Salvador. We are going to describe the places and we are going to talk about movies. Okay?
okay.
Okay. Like a silent here. Don't be shy to speak in English. So I told you that this module we are going to learn. Okay, so, okay, give me a second. Give me a second, please. We will have right now a game, a light quiz game to practice the topics. Okay. If you have problem with the connection, Angie, don't worry. So I understand. Okay, click on the link, please. Okay, Jamilet. Okay, let's start. Good luck. questions today? Let me see. Okay. How was the quiz? It was easy, complicated? What do you think?
Confused.
Confused? It was confused?
I'm
A
confused
little.
in some questions.
You are confused or you were confused?
Confused?
Okay, you said I am confused.
Okay, I am confused
No,
in some.
you said that. And you need to tell me in past because we are not doing the quiz anymore. So you need to say I was confused. I was
I
confused.
was confused. Yes.
Good. Good job. So let me review the questions. Okay, so this one, everybody got correct. The black car is faster than the red car. Good job. This story is more interesting than the other one. Okay, so here, okay, remember that tall, tall is a short adjective. What is the rule that we need to apply in this? The general rule,
ER.
just to add ER, yes, because it's an small, just one syllable. Okay. Next one. Okay. The Mona Lisa is one of the most beautiful paintings in this museum. So if you pay attention, you will have the article, in this case, the. So when you see the, automatically you need to think that it's a superlative because we don't use the in the comparative form. And that's the same here. We have the. So Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth. All right? Is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, so just pay attention to those brief details. We use these for superlatives, just for superlative. And here you will find that. That means that is a comparative. All right? So here again, comparative. Then, and sheep is a short one. So we need to apply the rules. Add ER. Let me see. This one, then, again, it's a comparative. So here we have more famous. Remember that we can't use the more. Okay, don't forget that we say the most, but we cannot say the more. David is the tallest person in our English class. That means that David is the tallest one in the entire class. Okay, that restaurant is the worst restaurant in our town. Good job. Yesterday was the hottest day this summer. Okay, the temperature maybe was high. Okay. Elephants are the heaviest land animals in the world. So pay attention to this ending. Remember that we need to take off the Y and we need to replace it for I. So his grandfather is the oldest in his family. So we can say more older than, because older means comparative and more means comparative. That means that you are using two comparative adjectives in the same sentence. So, and you need to have here another person to compare with the grandfather, but in this case says that in his family, that means that it's a superlative. Russia is the biggest country in the world. The giraffe is the tallest animal in the world. So we don't have in the case, another animal to make a comparison. Cheetahs are faster than elephant. Okay, so faster than, because we have here elephants and we have here another animal. In this case, this is wrong because we need to say, for example, cheetahs are the fastest animals in the world, maybe. You are my best friend. It is easy, right?
Yes.
It's a common one. It's a common one. Okay. This is a really good school. It's one of the best schools in Mexico. All right, my new friend is happier than me. Okay, so we can use the happiest, but we need to remove this. We just can say, my new friend is the happiest person. But when you have this than, means that you need to compare with another person. It says, what is the correct particle? I'm smaller than my older brother. Okay, but good job. Maybe we need to just pay attention to brief details, okay? Just to brief details. Let me check this. So we have another exercise about comparative. Okay, so this exercise, and I have easy here, but today, please, if you have access, type in the chat, how do I need to type the adjective in the worksheet? Type it in the chat, please. This one, easy. What is the correct way? Let me see, easier, okay, easier. All right. Okay. So what about interesting? More interesting. Okay, thank you. What about hot? Hotter, or you can say hotter. What about difficult? More difficult. Good job. And what about good? What is the comparative of good?
Teacher,
What about this one, hotter?
the hottest.
Okay, yes, what's the hottest? Okay. This TV show is more interesting.
The most interesting.
The most interesting. Okay, yesterday was the hottest day of the year. Okay, so it is more difficult test of all. It is more difficult test of all. The most difficult, yes. The most difficult. Okay. What about dispense rights? Good. Angie says better. Okay. The most good? No, Jamila, because this is an irregular one. Do you remember those irregular that we have to memorize them because we cannot apply the rule? And what about this? Exciting than. Exciting. More exciting. Okay. And what about intelligent? This pupil is the most intelligent. Okay, good job. The most intelligent. What about number 8? This is castle in Britain. The oldest, the older. Is it a comparative or superlative? Think about that. The oldest castle in Britain. What about friends are than money? Think about this then. More important, yes, more important because we have two. We are talking about friends and we are talking about money. We are comparing the two things. And what about this watch is expensive and we have done here. Okay, good job, Jamilet, more expensive. All right, so this actor is famous actors in Spain. The most famous. All right, good job. And what about English? Easy than Italian. Easier, all right. English is easier than Italian. Hostels are cheaper than hotels. Good job. And what about my sister? It's older than me. My sister is older than me. Okay, this cake is more delicious. All right, than ice cream. And what about this dress is? The most beautiful, yes. The most beautiful. And what about the number 17? It says this t-shirt is worst worse than that t-shirt. It is worst. Okay, good lady. So it's worse. Check the spelling. Worse. All right. And what about my car? Is modern than yours. More modern. All right. And what about I want? What about new? Mm-hmm. Angie says newer with question. The most new. Mm-hmm. The most new. Okay. So both are correct. So, but in the case it could be more new or newer. I'm sorry, newest or the most new. I will tell you, newest indicates it's more common in English. So, but you can say the most new. I will have it maybe newest in this case. I don't know who the person who made this have the answer key here. My dog is than hers. Younger. All right, let me see. Younger. All right, thank you, ladies. Let's check. Maybe here it's the newest, the most new, maybe. And here it's correct, but we were missing is here. Maybe it's an error of the platform, but you did a really good job. How was the exercise? It was easy, it was complicated. What do you think?
I think is complicated.
It's complicated because of the vocabulary.
And I think to me, how do you say me confunde?
It confused me.
It confuses me.
Okay, don't worry. But remember in the case, Jamila, that you need to pay attention. If you see the particle than, means that you have to compare two things. And you need to check in the sentence if you have two things. So automatically things in compare. But if you don't see two things and you don't see the word than, means that you have to make a superlative sentence. So that's a like a key. Okay, so here we have just a short reading to finish the class on today. So we have this solar system here. We have the sun, we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So this word, where do we live? We pronounce like earth, like earth. You need to like a blowing. Okay, we say earth, earth. Okay, so please help me to read the first paragraph. Angie, please.
There are 8 planets in our solar system. Mercury, Venus,
Okay.
Earth, Mars, Jupiter,
Okay.
Saturn, I don't know,
Uranus. No worries.
Uranus, and Neptune. The sun is at the center of our solar system. It is a star and the planets go around it. Here is the planet people live on.
Okay, thank you so much. Continue, Jamilet, until maybe here, son.
Saturn, Uranus. Perdón, sorry. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. It's also a smallest planet. Mercury is very hot, but the hottest planet is Venus, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are the coolest planets. Neptune is also the farthest planet from the sun.
Okay, thank you so much. Lady, the last two lines.
Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are very big, but Jupiter is the biggest planet of all.
Thank you so much. As you can see here, they are making comparisons and they are telling it. Most of them are talking about superlative. For example, says that Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. We have Mercury here, and they say that's the closest one. So it's the planet that is close to the sun. So and we have the smallest, and it says that it's also the smallest planet. So they are talking about the shape and talking about the height of the Mercury, is the smallest one, and about the hottest. So the hottest one says that it's Venus. All right, this is the hottest one. And we have the coldest one. So we have Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune because they are far from the sun. And as you can see here, it says that Jupiter is the biggest of all. So we have different planets, different shapes in the case, or different heights. But Jupiter is the biggest one. So it's the biggest one here in the solar system. Okay, good. So before leaving, do you have any questions so far about how to compare things? Yes, no?
No questions.
Okay, so next week we are going to continue comparing things. We did a kind of like a review in our oral exam with some of you, but I will help you how to compare things, how to compare colors, how to compare different items, cars. I will help you, okay? Don't worry until you get all the topic in your brain, okay?
Okay.
Okay, have a wonderful end of the week and have a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye, girls.
Thank you,
Bye. Take care.
teacher.
Bye. Thank
Okay,
you.
take
Good
care.
weekend.
Good weekend.